Hello and welcome back, grade 1 students. I hope you guys are enjoying. We're still on Unit 5, Living Things and Their Young, Lesson 2, How Do Animals Look Like Their Parents, Part 6, and this is the final part of this lesson. For today, we're going to cover the following points. Lesson check, page 251. Self-check, page 252 to 153. We open to page 251. What can we observe in this picture? Excellent, we can see the swan and its young. Let's read together. What do they want? Can you solve it? You see a young animal. You want to find an adult animal that is the same kind. What should you look for? Be sure to tell how animals of the same kind can be alike and different. Explain how you can observe patterns to tell if two animals are the same kind of animal. So I'm gonna reread it and then I'm gonna explain. Can you solve it? You see a young animal. You want to find an adult animal that is the same kind. What should you look for? Be sure to tell how animals of the same kind can be alike and different. Explain how you can observe patterns to tell if two animals are the same kind of animal. So we listen up carefully. They are asking us that you guys found a young animal and you want to find an adult animal that is the same kind. What should you look for? What should you observe? Remember, and you have to be sure to tell how animals of the same kinds can be alike. It means the same, and how can they be different, right? And how they can be different. And also, they asked us to explain how can you observe patterns to tell if two animals are the same kind of animal. So, when I find a young animal and I want to find an adult animal that is the same kind, what should I do? Think. Excellent! I should observe another animal that has the same parts, same body parts, because we said that the animals of the same kind share the same body parts, but they might be different sizes or different colors. But of course, they will have the same body parts. Clear so far? So that's how they could be the same. They share the same body parts, and how they would be different, they might have different sizes or different colors. Clear? Now, how can we observe patterns to tell if two animals are the same kind of animal? Keep in mind, guys, a pattern is something that is repeated. So I have to observe carefully to check. If they share the same body parts, this means that this is a pattern repeating itself. Both have the same body parts. Okay? And this means that they are the same kind of animal. And what else? If they are different in sizes, it doesn't matter. One might be the parent and the others might be the young. But both of them are what? Swans, right? This is a swan and these are its young. Is one a swan and the other is a dog or a cat or a bear? No, both of them share different body, share what? Different colors but the same body parts. Clear? So far so good? So to know if two animals are of the same kind, we have to compare. What do we mean by compare? Observe carefully the two animals to check how are they the same and how are they different. Clear? How would they be the same? They would share the same body parts. How would they be different? They might have different sizes and different colors. Clear so far? Great. Let's move on. So guys, you stop the video over here and you copy this paragraph neatly and properly on page 251 on the lines. Now, if you do not have the ability to access the video, no problem, or you were unable to watch the video, I will provide an answer key, okay? So, let me read. Animals of the same kind can have different sizes and colors, but they usually have the same parts. I can observe patterns in the shape and the size of parts to tell if animals are of the same kind. Clear so far? So, how do we know? We know by observing the body parts of the two animals. If they have the same body parts, this means that they are the same kind of animal, but might have different sizes and different colors. So I have to observe to check if they have the same shape of the body parts, okay? But they might have different sizes. Clear? So I can observe the patterns and the shape and size of parts to tell if animals are of the same kind. So they might have different sizes but the same body parts, the same shape of the body parts. This means that both of them are the same kind of animal, but one must be or one might be a parent and the other is a young. So I'm gonna reread it one more time. Animals of the same kind can have different sizes and colors, but they usually have the same parts. I can observe patterns in the shape and size of parts to tell if animals are of the same kind. So animals of the same kind have different sizes and colors, but they usually have the same parts. Clear? So they share the same body parts, but they might have different sizes and colors. So I have to observe carefully the patterns, which are things that are repeated, the shape of the parts, body parts, if they share the same shape of body parts, and then the sizes, if they have different sizes, one is has a big size and the other has a small size, but both share the same body parts. This means that they are the same kind of animal, and one might be the parent, the other might be the young. Or one is the parent and the other is the young. Clear? So far so good? Let's move on. Clear? So these dogs, how do we know that they are the same kind? We have to observe their body parts, right? Excellent. So we have to observe their body parts to check if they share the same body parts. Then they'll be the same kind of animal, but they might have different colors and different sizes. Clear? But does this mean that this is a dog and this is a cat? No, they are the same kind of animal, but they might have different sizes and different colors. Clear? Let's move on. We're open to page 252. Now you guys have to, or you should have solved these two pages on your own, and now you're just listening to the explanation and making sure that you solved correctly. Clear? Number 1. Which is true about most young animals and their parents? Choose all correct answers. When we say choose all correct answers, it means we have more than one answer. A. Young animals have parts like their parents. B. Young animals grow to look like their parents. C. Young animals are bigger than their parents. So I'm going to read it one more time. Listen up carefully. Which is true about most young animals and their parents? Choose all correct answers. A. Young animals have parts like their parents. B. Young animals grow to look like their parents. C. Young animals are bigger than their parents. So what is correct about most young animals and their parents? Choose all correct answers. A. Young animals have parts like their parents. B. Young animals grow to look like their parents. C. Young animals are bigger than their parents. What do you guys think? Excellent. It is A and B. Young animals grow to look like their parents, and young animals have parts like their parents. They share the same body parts, but they have different sizes. And as they grow more and more to look like their parents. But of course, young animals are not bigger than their parents. They are smaller than their parents, younger than their parents. Clear? Number 2. Marco sees a young animal that has scales on its body. The young animal's parent will likely have A. Fur, B. Scales, C. A shell. So I'm going to read it one more time, then I'm going to explain. Marco, a boy, sees a young animal that has scales on its body. The young animal's parent will likely have A. Fur, B. Scales, C. A shell. Remember, scales is one of the body coverings, and we said that the young animals share the same body covering like their parents or with their parents, right? So this means that if the young animal has scales on its body, then its parents would likely have A. Fur, B. Scales, or C. Shell. Excellent! It is scales. Of course it is not fur. Of course it is B. Scales, and of course it is not shell. Why? Because the young animal has scales on its body, and we said that the young animal and the parent share the same body covering, which means that the parent will also have scales. And thus, in this way, it will, of course, the parent will not have fur or a shell because the young animal has scales, neither fur nor shell as a body covering. So that's why B is the correct answer. Clear? Number 3. Observe each animal and its parent. What patterns do you see? So we have to observe these two pictures. They're animals and they're young. Okay. What patterns do we see? A. They are the same size. B. They have the same pattern on their fur. C. They have different body parts. So how are these two the same? What do they share? Okay. A. They are the same size. Are the young animals and their parent the same size? No, so A is incorrect. B. They have the same pattern on their fur. It means they have the same things on their fur, the same prints on their fur. So over here we could see black prints on the fur. Over here we could see like white stripes on the fur. See, they have different body parts. What do you guys think? Of course it is B. They have the same patterns on their fur. They share the same pattern on the fur, the same body covering, right? See, they have different body parts? No, they have the same body parts because they are the same kind of animal but different sizes because one is a parent and the other is a young. Young grows day after day. It will grow to look like its parent and become bigger in size. Clear? Or it will grow in size to become bigger like its parent. On page 253, number 4, draw a line to match each parent to its young. What do you guys think? Excellent! So this is the parent panda of this young panda, and this is the parent crocodile of this young crocodile. How do we know? Because they share the same body coverings and the same body parts, but different in sizes. Excellent. Number 5. Amy observes 2 dogs that are the same kind. Which sentences could be true about the dogs? A. The dogs are different colors. B. The dogs one dog has fur and one dog has feathers. C. One dog is smaller than the other dog. So I'm gonna read it one more time. Amy observes 2 dogs that are the same kind. Which sentences could be true about the dogs? When they say which sentences, it means we have more than one answer. Clear? A. The dogs are different colors. B. One dog has fur and one dog has feathers. C. One dog is smaller than the other dog. So of course, what do you guys think? It is true. It is A. It is A. The dogs are different colors, of course, because they could be the same kind but different colors. Of course it is not B, because one dog has fur and one dog has feathers. It is impossible. We know that the dogs or the same kind of animals share the same kind of body coverings, and we know that the dogs are covered with fur, not with feathers. So B is incorrect. C, one dog is smaller than the other dog. It could be, of course. Why? Because we said that the same kind of animals might have different sizes. Clear? So it is A and C. That's all. Thank you.